100% wild-crafted sea moss. Only the best, 'cause you deserve nothing less. 8 Butterfly.
One love, Delta 9 travelers, is an early morning flight. Never a dull moment in Guyana, and we here making sure that we stay updated with these very important and trending headlines. You see the thumbnail, and from you see the thumbnail, you know we don't play around with the headlines over here at Delta 9 Media. We're gonna get straight into it. Look, this take Guyana to a new level, a brand new level. We gotta get into these headlines, because this thing is becoming a trend. We see recently there was a situation where a young man did similar things to one of his guardians, right? And now, look at what's going on here. Look at what is going on here. It seems like Guyana is going to new levels. New levels. And we're going to jump straight into these headlines. Big up to all the frequent travelers that are in the live right now. All the new travelers with us. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe, buddy. And guess what? Support the channel so we could continue to bring you breaking headlines like this early in the morning, late in the night, anytime, so that we all can stay updated. Because listen, look at what's going on the ground right now. Look at what's going on the ground, buddy.
I'm doing a lie. My skin growing.
Allegations of there's allegations of a 6-year-old being sent home and a 72-year-old allegedly was raped. What kind of craziness going on? What kind of listen? We gotta hear this directly from persons at the scene.
Because
The grandma is inside.
the
Does it little child alone?
the white one.
Oh my God.
Sipping on some fresh light roast home brew, right? What you sipping on right now, early in the morning, as we update one another with these very, very troubling headlines coming from the ground in Guyana.
It was like my skin is growing, so I don't know. It's really messed up. The 6-year-old child is still inside the house whose throat has been cut. We were told bandit went in. The grandmother allegedly was stabbed. It's bandit. From the little information that I got, bandit went in. At the home of Nasim. Most of us know Nasim. He had or have a a photo studio in Puerto Rico, living here in Zeelugt, not far from Bob Marley Bridge at Tushin. And bandit went in and was told that the grandma, which is his mom, was stabbed, and the 6-year-old child throat has been slit. So nobody can go in, but police is here, residents and family members and so on coming in. Real messed up. The grandma is at the hospital, Georgetown, I think. The I'm not sure what they're waiting on, but police are here, but nobody can go in. As yet, they're probably waiting on the horse, but it was a 6-year-old child, his son, whose throat has been slit. You all know Nassim. He tend to go on Facebook and he would, speak about certain things, speak on certain things. But unfortunately, today, this is in Zeelugt.
Troubling developments from the ground in Zeelugt. Zeelugt got a lot going on right now. I'm pretty sure the streets are full and the conversations are loud in the streets of Zeelugt. Because guess what? A 6-year-old, six, 5 and 1, 6-year
It was
old.
just the grandmother and the grandson alone that was told in the home at the moment when it happened.
Share this live, Delta 9 travelers, frequent travelers, new travelers with us. Share this live. Let persons get a chance to see what's going on the ground in Guyana. Realize we up before the news and we here highlighting these details for you. Persons might not know what's going on locally, internationally, as yet. Share the live, thumbs up the live. So this is going to show up on the timelines of those that need this information. This is taking Guyana to a new level. Realize this thing happening one after the other, And from where this area is in my mind, and you could drop it into the comment section too, if y'all understand the geographics a little better than me. Because, I might forget a little thing here and there as we go along with the locations and stuff like that. You're traveling all over the world, sometimes these things slip. You understand? But how far away is this from the situation that went down with Adriana Young? And why, if it is so close, things like this keep happening within this vicinity? 6 years old. 6. Right? A whole lot of developing updates, and we're going to make sure that you get them as they develop.
They're living in Zeelugt. Zeelugt new scheme, not far from Bob Marley Bridge. My God. So it's the 6-year-old boy whose throat was split. Nobody could go in their house because police are there, probably waiting on the horse. And the grandma, she's in the hospital. We all know Nassim. He's from Puerto. He is a Puerto village man. He has, if you don't know directly, he have a photo studio in Puerto to the old road, you would see. So his 6-year-old son is still lying in there, throat slit. The grandma is at the hospital. I was told that she was stabbed. Bandit went in on them. This is at Zeelugt's new scheme near to Tushin. I honestly thought it was Tushin when I got a call this morning.
Zeelugt new scheme close to Tushin. Zeelugt. What's going on in Zeelugt? Telling you. Tushin. Hearing these names over and over again. Janet, thanks for being a part of the live. Janet is saying good morning to the Delta 9 followers. Thanks for being a part of the live. Janet, thanks for tuning in. Early morning. We're making sure we stay updated with this one because what's going on right here? What? I telling you, I wake up and I see this. I say no. If I wait and I don't do a live now, by the time we get into the stuff with Parliament and stuff like that during the day, a lot of what's going on here, we're not gonna get to highlight and get into the details. Harold, thanks for being a part of the live. Can someone please enlighten me to what is going on? A 6-year-old, Harold, a 6-year-old, and a 72-year-old, both are relatives, right? Seemingly, allegedly, what it's appearing as right now, someone went in and the 6-year-old was unalive and the 72-year-old allegedly was essayed and have a number of other wounds around her body, and she is getting medical attention right now. Right? Zeelugt is where this is going down. Not too far away from Tushin, as the person on the ground is highlighting it for us right now. So for any person that's wondering what's going on the ground, because you see how early it is, a lot of persons ain't even aware of what's going on. The news ain't even come. The police ain't even come to the scene yet. But guess what? There's the information, and here we are, making sure that we stay updated with what's taking place. The police ain't even reached to the scene yet. And we here with it on Delta 9 Media. Early in the morning, early morning flight, right? Zeelugt, because persons are asking what is going on, what's really going on. In Zeelugt, a 6-year-old, 5 plus 1, right? Condolences to the family, condolences to all the loved ones, and rise in power to our everlasting energy. Condolences. 6-year-old is no more. The 72-year-old is at the hospital. Conversations on the ground is that the 72-year-old might have been allegedly SA'd and bore up a number of times. Bore up. What's going on in Guyana? This is taking us to a new level, a brand new level. It seems like we ending up, because recently there was a situation with another young man that see that he tie up on the ground. And what happened with his mother, right? We're going to get into those headlines as well if we get time on this live. But let me jump into some more of what's coming directly from the ground. There are going to be a number of persons that are going to come on and speak and stuff like that as well. I just wanted us to get all the details from the beginning all the way to the updates that are going to come in. A 6-year-old on a live. 72-year-old in the hospital right now, allegedly. A number of nefarious, terrible things going on the ground.
But it's not far from Bob Marley Street. Bob Marley Bridge, sorry. I'm so confused.
It's really not baffled for trying to put me head around what's going on the ground. Even the neighbors trying to bend the mind around what's going on. It's crazy. Condolences to the family and the loved ones.
Who are we waiting on now? Oh God. Oh my God. So the family member, nobody can go in. They gotta wait for the lead detective to be here.
Yeah, Linda, this footage is before the police even come to the scene early this morning, right?
And for a doctor to come and pronounce the little child dead. Yeah, you gotta wait for the doctor to come. I think the father gone for the doctor, right? The father gone for the doctor? No, Nasim. The father sit down there. So they're waiting. This happened during the course of last night, we were told, or early this morning. And they gotta wait for the lead detective. The police, they're there. They're blocking off. They're there doing their job, but you still gotta wait for the lead detective and the doctor to do their part to come pronounce the child dead. The grandmother's at the hospital. I was told she was stabbed and so forth, but it's a messed up, really messed up situation.
I'm telling you, very, very
it's
much so.
6-year-old child. It's true. And it's like over, like how long now they're waiting for the lead detective. Uh-huh. Wow. Oh Lord. So it happened since 4:30 this morning. The child's throat was slit. The grandmother was stabbed. She's at the hospital, but since then they're on it, and they were told that they gotta wait for the lead detective and a doctor to come and pronounce the child dead. This is in Zeelugt, new scheme at the back, next, not too far from Bob Marley Bridge. That's how people here they're coming out. We all know Nassim. Nassim runs a photo studio in Purica. He's a Purica man, well known. And it's real messed up because the child is just 6 years old. So does those two police? Three of them.
You can find a detective in this RS station if you're going to get somebody to come here and do what I'm going to get yourself out of control.
I see the father Altaf sitting there on the ground.
Yes, we can take out there and put it in. You could do that right now, you're supposed to put it to both ones. What happened? Now estimate that you see big clear doing spot. While you're in your tail, while you're in your
Everybody's on the edge this morning.
You're fucking jackass, big man. You're fucking jackass. Oh, the fuck you, papa. I don't belong.
Yeah, this action.
I ain't that much looking for fucking problem or what? You go pass here and you take this fucking
Maybe
bus
you
out.
can't pass here because
Big ass team man like you. You see how them big here, stay one pass here.
But snatch people this morning, but coming in our fucking.
this time now, nobody didn't show up as that. No detective didn't show up.
Not yet.
Just the police. Just the police. I don't know who's seeing this or who can see this or if somebody could make a call or two. But since 4:30, I was told it happened. This morning, the grandmother is at the hospital. She has been stabbed, and the little child, a 6-year-old child, he's still in the house. His throat has been slit. We were told, and nobody is here. Just the police. They're waiting on the lead detective and a doctor to pronounce him dead. Just those 3 police officers there. This is in Zeelugt, new scheme at the back, not too far from Bob Marley Bridge. For those of you who just joined, it's Nassim from Purica. His 6-year-old son.
You know what's troubling about this situation, Delta 9 travelers? How come so long something like this went down that You're hearing the details coming from the persons on the ground. I can repeat it so persons that are coming into the live gonna get a chance to understand what's taking place on the ground. You know the thing that's troubling right now to me is that how come till now? Because it seemed like it's been a while since this situation would have happened the same for something in the morning. Look at the sky, right? They don't look like for something in the morning. There's more than an hour or more after this thing would have happened. And still no law enforcement as yet. No law enforcement as yet. Who's gonna answer for this? If anybody is gonna answer for this. Who are we really watching at? Hmm? What's really going on the ground? Look how many persons would have already made their way over there, right? Shouldn't they get some type of council, some type of neighborhood watch or something, that would have some type of capabilities of dealing with things like this in case you have a situation that obviously is what's going on? Law enforcement can't get there as fast as necessary. All of that time, a 6-year-old is inside of the house, right? Allegedly. Isn't that crazy? 72-year-old, obviously, in Guyana, we don't know the rules. Carry your family to the hospital yourself. You could play like you're waiting, and you see how long they're waiting right there. Think about what would happen to Granny if she was still waiting on medical personnel for transportation to the hospital. Because it's obvious that she needs it. Tragic times, right? Crazy. This take Guyana to a new level. A new level. Let me get into some more details on the ground right now.
Never know. Your place not. Not look at not there.
More persons are still coming out.
Big up yourself, Sherwin. Thanks for being a part of the live. Sherwin is saying, Day 5, power refinement people. Thanks for being a part of the live. Thanks for being a part of this special presentation. I'm telling you, Sherwin, we got a lot going on right now. A lot going on right now on the ground in Guyana. 6-year-old buddy. 6-year-old Sherwin.
Honestly, I don't want to ask any family member or anything because everybody is everybody just emotional.
Ini dari pasar Solero. Innocent lagi Julio.
But nobody hear nothing? Was just the two of them alone home? The grandmother and the grandson alone?
You live right there.
Oh.
You going back right there. And you don't do it?
But she didn't hear nothing?
Them house
She lived right in the same house? At the back? Oh, over there?
And I hear nothing right now.
So who discovered?
You know?
Nasi?
You know who discovered? Can't tell that. Yeah. And police are gonna come right away.
Well, the police are here, but they still gotta wait for the detective. They said the lead detective and a doctor.
No police as yet. Sun bright in the sky, a lot of different persons from the neighborhood concerned as they should be, caring as they should be because it's their neighbor. But they can't do nothing much. They don't have a neighborhood watch that gives them no kind of training, no little bit of authority to deal with certain things so that they could cordon off the scene, make sure that certain things don't get tampered with, hold some kind of order, you understand? Or even to have some type of vehicle available, because what if Granny didn't have access to a vehicle to help her to get to the hospital? Joseph is saying the police force is a total lack, lawlessness. I'm telling you, boy, it's crazy.
So this is what's going on the west side right now. At Zeelugt New Scheme, not too far from Bob Marley Bridge.
One love, Bantu King. Thanks for being a part of the life. I'm telling you, Bantu King, what's going on the west side, buddy? The west side at it again.
Nasim, you guys know Nasim. Those of you from, it goes by the name of Pastor also, from Puerto Rico. And he's living here in Zeelugt New Scheme. He runs a photo studio in Puerto Rico too. So if you don't know him by the name, you know him by the photo studio that he runs in Puerto Rico through the old road. And it's his 6-year-old son. Yeah.
6 year
A little by I see post picture with them the other day.
sympathy.
It really messed up. It really, really messed up.
Sometimes nothing happens at 6 o'clock.
But rain didn't even fall this morning. For said that rainfall and it happened and nobody could hear or so on. It really messed up for those of you who just joined. A 6-year-old child. Michelle, please don't call. I'm on the live. The same thing I'm saying here now. I'm gonna tell you when you call. A 6-year-old child throat has been split. The mom, she is in the hospital. She was stabbed. Oh my God! You went in?
Nah, so she's on the
I'll talk.
Hello, here na.
Nasim.
Hello, here na. Spin up na live. Sweet na mas din ko. On ba?
A little 6-year-old boy was stabbed. Throat was split, and the grandmother from Puerto Rico, she's in the hospital. So we're waiting. The lead CID. They said they had CID and or something of that sort, and a doctor to pronounce him dead. The grandmother's in the hospital, nursing stab wounds. The police team to them look like they're getting out the patient too.
Anybody would get out a patient, because if you're standing up out there for so long with something gruesome like that just happened to you, it's traumatizing one, and you wondering to yourself, but wait, this is the reality all the time that I would have got to face if something like this happened. So long I got to wait for somebody from law enforcement come and deal with what's going on. Obviously, a need for somebody from law enforcement to come and deal with this. It's no wonder the person who perpetrated the act felt comfortable enough to do something this terrible. You know? Carlisle, thanks for being a part of the life. Shalom, shalom. Eva, thanks for being a part of this live presentation. I'm telling you, we got insightful moderation in the chat. Grand rising to everyone that's a part of this morning live, because it's not that much early in the morning. We are almost winding down to the midday hours, right? But listen, this is what went down early this morning. From the conversation from persons on the ground is that this happened like 4 something. This video here, sir, is before. This video that we're watching is before the police even come. Before law enforcement, coroners, doctors to come and, pronounce certain things about what actually took place. Nobody's there yet. Just residents and loved ones.
Voilà, mais you may later. Follow me, man. I'm man, so people on the
Move in
place.
front of the camera, man.
Move from the camera, man. I'm gonna tackle you. You don't spoil already.
Person still coming out. Um,
Who can do this?
so what's going on the west side this morning? Everybody woke up to horrific news where a 6-year-old child's throat has been slit. Around 4:30, the grandma nursing stab wounds at the hospital right now. It was just the two of them alone home. We're not sure if they robbed them or carry anything. We're not sure, but the police was called. Nasim, who discovered it's his son, his 6-year-old son. The child is still inside the home there, down at Zeelugt here new scheme, not far from Bob Marley Bridge. But it was just the grandmother. It was just the grandmother and the child home alone. So those of you who know Nasim from Puerto Rico, it's his 6-year-old son, and whose throat was slit, and his mom, who's nursing stab wound at the hospital. Hmm? The person's still coming. You live here?
He take you for board back and tell him no. She never used to work as social back. And she died in Social Security, right?
Yep. Where the grandmother?
Then the hospital, she just broke her neck. The
But
great grandmother.
only you and you is
Me, the grandmother.
you is the great grandmother got stabbed.
Yes. Me, Shabana.
Yes. Well, guys,
Which you know.
I know you. When I hear it, that's why I run on because I grew up in Montreal.
Yeah, then I take this trip.
Okay. So what really happened? What anything you could share? Because people are
Okay. I left till over in school, till over Blacker, and my mom lived here with my son and a little boy, 6 years old. And my dad lived there with 3 grand. But both the three husband and my son wasn't home. They went over to school for work. So nobody don't know already.
what transpired.
No. Because the little boy know plenty people around this place because they just go shop and move around. He's there with my mommy because my mom gets stroke. She can't walk. So he just climbed on a stool, take food out and dish it to eat, wipe your mouth He there for shit all the time. So probably like when he must see the person, he don't know, he know them. Must start screaming, he hollering. So this was the picture.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I stabbed my mother in the neck. So she got to do x-ray. So my mommy can't walk.
I know her report.
This is crazy. So it seems as if it's someone that they might know. Allegedly. Allegedly. We all think about what we hearing right here so far, Delta 9 travelers. The hotline number is definitely up on the screen. Call it in. Send in your voice notes. Or drop it into the chat. Let's have some real right thinking conversation about this. What's really going on? I notice up to now, with all of this that's going on, with everything that would have transpired so far, still no law enforcement.
I didn't know the back she live, but we grew up in front of here.
Yeah. So now, I don't know. Already.
It's a lot of the sister.
It's got like I got a sister. Hello, Emma.
Oh shit.
Huh? Holiday 71.
How old is his sister? Little by you? Yeah.
That's 6.
6.
No, how old are you?
9.
Oh my God.
She's 9. Miss.
Oh my God. Well, guys,
7.
7.
Old mommy 7.
The by 7.
And my old mommy is 71. She the one that she can't walk, she can't help herself. The little boy is there to get the water and food. And is there wrong. My daughter is do the cleaning and washing and stuff. It's not God, I got this.
But there, guys, you heard it for yourself from the grandmother. The great grandmother was stabbed. The 7-year-old normally be with her in the home to assist her and stuff like that. The grandmother said probably he know who was who. So when he started to holler, so one day end up slit his throat. How long are we all here? Like around what time it happened? And I is not no news report, but I'm gonna ask one question so that person could know.
So they're like what time? What 4 but
No,
they clean.
you are here just starting to
Yeah.
I'll talk like you need to talk.
No. I went both where the London.
Yeah. So nobody could enter. We're waiting for the police to do their part. They're waiting on the detective and a doctor, we were told, to pronounce the child dead. And probably, honestly, like I'm still shaking from this. This is in Zeelugt New Scheme. This is the Johnson Street. Zeelugt New Scheme, Johnson Street.
It seems like, you see, you gotta upload. Did you upload that other recording for us, moderator? Did you upload the recording of the video, moderator? Because with that now, it seems like, let me see if I could go back and get it.
Oh, come down.
Okay. It seems as if it's still here.
I'll have some. Guys, so sorry, it's not Nasim's son, but I was told this morning, not Nasim. His son was at me. So you had to go and work, or they just went to where school to work. My son and I went to work, so he then went home. But the little boy, my left for she. 7-year-old. The 7-year-old. And this is a 7-year-old sister, little girl. She's 9. That was the mom 16 days. Said they took two footage from a house up the road that has camera, but they didn't get in the full face. But probably from what the grandmother said, that it looks like the child knows who the person is, so they slit his throat. Child is 7 years old. The grandmother, the 9-year-old, is in that's the little girl there, her brother. This is the grandmother there. Real messed up, man. They get two footage, but they didn't get the face. One person said they took two footage from a house up the road that has camera, but they didn't get in the full face. But probably from what the grandmother said, that it looks like the child knows who the person is, so they slit his throat.
6 years old, kind hearted. They're doing things that we know in Guyana sometimes we be given some of these responsibilities at a young age because there's nothing better in place to take care of that need at that time. So, you know, there he is, 6 years old. We just heard the accounts of his family members rising power to him, right? That he's a good child, just out, doing things that most times in these parts of the world you can't just leave up to anybody. You would need an actual adult, or you would need some type of trained personnel to take care of. And then look at what happened. And this person is still running rampant. We're hearing that they had a chance to get some partial. Yeah. My apologies, Delta 9 travelers. Yeah, there's so much to this case right here.
Queenie, I can't say why they killed the child. It's really messed up. I cannot say that. I don't know. I'm just sharing what I know here with you. And as you heard, the grandmother said what happened, what she knew of. However, the police are here. They're waiting on detective and a doctor.
Happy that the police are there to make sure that there's order and that the crime scene is secured. Because, listen, we got to get to the bottom of this. We can't doing things like that and then, compromised environment and things like that, you get to get away. Nah, today is Friday, right? At least by the ending of today and by Sunday afternoon, the latest, whoever do this supposed to done their in cuffs, waiting to face the law early Monday morning. Early Monday morning. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, it gotta be the child probably know who it was. Guys, so sorry it's not Nassim's son, but I was told this morning when I got a call what happened. But I learned it's Altaf Sunday. Nassim nephew, his son Altaf, sitting on the ground up road there. He can hardly talk. He was at work. He wasn't at home. It was just the little boy, the 7-year-old boy, and the great grandmother who have a stroke. She cannot do anything for herself.
Janaya is saying this is sad. Tuned in all the way from Barbados. Thanks for tuning in, Janaya. It's definitely a sad, sad situation on the ground. You know? Sad situation on the ground. Condolences to the family and the loved ones, and rise in power. Rise in power to the 6-year-old that lost his life. Eva saying the person or persons, this is heartless. When you see these people, how could you doubt? Um, how could you do this to a child and an elderly woman who is disabled? Most High is watching over persons and persons, right? Is like you're almost lost for words. Like, why would a person go to these lengths? From you could analyze the environment and stuff like that. How much were they willing to do, and how much were they able to gain from what they did? 6 years old, buddy. Hmm? You understand why I'm telling you, Swift? You gotta get these people off the road. You got to get them off the road. By end of the day, you ain't supposed to be on the road by the week for the weekend. This supposed to be the last Friday of freedom ever. That's it. That's it. We wash we arm upon you, buddy. If you're doing things like this, lock you away, and then see if they got other penalties. Condignly. Terrible way. Bantu King is saying this is what the taxpayers' dollars are paying for: an incompetent government, judicial and police and healthcare service. Sometimes I just really gotta wonder is what really going on, Bantu King, because by right granny supposed to be able to call, and they're supposed to got some type of medical personnel sent off to deal with that situation there. You know? It's crazy.
of persons. That's true. More. I don't know if your father will be able to talk anything because um he was sitting there that he could have hardly say anything. I'm not seeing him. Where I'll talk. I'll talk. There's anything that you would like to say? Mm-hmm. So we're still waiting. Hopefully somebody will see something and somebody will speed up the system and the child is in there since the rear hour of the morning. Yeah, Zeelugt phase 3. Even to the police and things that they getting well Nasim is back. The police seem like they're getting out the patient too. Nasim is back. He is the uncle. He's not his son. He's the uncle. I made a mistake based on what I was told. Which hospital should I? Which hospital should I? So they know the person.
But she can't reveal if the person is get the person money.
How did this by know the city never got on yesterday?
Something gone wrong some way. And here she then know that she's been to look after the NIS and then thinking she get a machine yet NIS. If paperwork she been going to look after the paperwork.
Who know ala?
Who know? For money.
It's in the inside. You just say inside, you gotta get inside now. Holy man of even look at the people. You see, come I can yak some money. Oh, you know, they say they can come on yesterday.
But is it she got the stroke? How she went? Somebody carry she?
Yes, the son is doing
The son is carry. Nasim. Oh my gosh. Therefore somebody knows some. They get two footage, but it didn't show in the face.
You see a full body, man.
Crazy developments on the ground in Guyana.
A natural way to stay ready, baby. Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C. The ultimate male supplement, men's total wellness formula, packed with essential nutrients for men's health. She'll call you Mr. C.
Sleepy is the only diaper brand in Guyana with such a wide range to choose from. We cater to all babies, from newborns all the way to stage 7. Our collection includes Sleepy New, Sleepy Sensitive, Sleepy Natural and Organic, Sleepy Night, and don't forget our fashion jeans. Most of all, they're available in both paste and pull-up styles. Sleepy, Guyana's #1 selling baby diaper, available at stores nationwide.
Come here just one.
Kung saan ako comment pa ni
We could do use the timestamp and ask the businesses in front there, and then you say time frame and run to see the scene.
So,
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the bridge, yeah. And the welder man.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee. This whole one I tell her. And bullshit here, she can coffee.
What?
You see?
They fight?
Yeah, he fight and she fight like a pull she out the beer and his one. Then hit swell up bit so. And she said, "Boom, give me come boom, give me hala." When he said, "Yo, me got it." Even just teach us that. Hala, how boom can I do? Hala for the help. And it's going to do it and by the
Oh my God.
one of them, she said she contain one of them all the time. But he chose.
Yeah. After year hala. But I know they like.
She know them. She know the course. She know the course, but she's not in them course. But all she contain, she know the course. She know them.
You know.
So that what she said. She know them. But she not. You ask if you see.
They fight?
Yeah, she fight and she fight like a pull she out the beer and his one. Then hit swell up bit so. And she said, "Boom, give me come boom, give me hala." When he said, "Yo, me got it." Even just teach us that. Hala, how boom can I do? And hala for the help. And it's going to do it and by the
Oh my God.
one of them, she said, she contain one of them all the time. But he chose.
Yeah. After year hala. But I know they like.
She know them. She know the course. She know the course, but she's not in them course. But all she contain, she know the course.
What is it? She got this.
Yeah, Linda.
Somebody carry she?
Yeah,
Listen to this.
Nasim.
Listen really good, Nani.
Oh my gosh.
If
For somebody knows some. They get 2 footage, but it didn't show in the face.
You see a full body, the man. You see right here. Yeah, but you see the video. The bison picture too, he said.
Come here just one.
Kung saan ako comment pa ni
We could do use the timestamp and ask the businesses in front there, and then you say time frame and run to see the scene.
So,
yeah. Oh yeah, by the bridge, yeah. And the welder man.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee. This whole one I tell her. And bullshit here, she can coffee.
What?
You see?
They fight?
Yeah, he fight and she fight like a pull she out the beer and his one. Then hit swell up bit so. And she said, "Boom, give me come boom, give me hala." When he said, "Yo, me got it." Even just teach us that. Hala, how boom can I do? And hala for the help. And it's going to do it and by the
Oh my God.
one of them, she said, she contain one of them all the time. But he chose.
Yeah. After year hala. But I know they like.
She know them. She know the course. She know the course, but she's not in them course. But all she contain, she know the course. She know.
You know.
So that what she said. She know. But she not. You are asking most fellow.
Take care of it. I feel my lake.
Both of us.
It's one person more than one.
No, you got catching.
One person.
Then he go for the legal pension.
But then only the police are here, the detectives are not.
Hindi ko pinakomando ng putik na
No, he just still boy. Jadi ni wait for me, yang aku wait for dia action. Aku ada akan sama. Dia aku wait for dia action, dia orang aku sama. Dia mesti nggak punya time, punya go.
Naik lagi ni bed.
Dia naik lagi.
Dia ni bed. Dia naik lagi ni bed. Mau yang bosi tu.
Dia mana naik tu dia nggak punya.
So everything happened in the bedroom,
No,
in the hall,
in the kitchen.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Bring show, can you room?
No, she not sleeping room.
No, Harlow and this boy asleep on the bed. The guy two of them alone live there, right? But when mama see harass Harlow, the boy wake up. And I can't go to the fight for all in the kitchen. And they will kill the man.
Oh, my little boy,
6 years?
Yeah.
The grandma is a 7-year-old, yeah.
7 years.
But still short and small, little beast.
I'm more part on this side.
Mm.
When he was watching himself, he was like a fight me to play for Easter. If framework very tiny. You are very energetical child. Tell me that. And he friendly. He's a friendly little child.
Yes, sir, this man hold this
Yeah, this whole place is man.
Yes.
How?
Yeah, 70, 72.
72.
72.
Is it?
Something here?
72 she did. Yeah.
The sister peeping for her brother. Yeah, there's a sister, she peeping for her brother.
Sad reality. Another child traumatized, right? Another child got to grow up with the horror of a memory. Rough times in Guyana, I'm telling you.
The crowd are building. All they did? Took off your underwear and so on? Oh my god.
Huh?
We're waiting on the detectives. They said they're on the way.
The burden from the past.
When you call this man, he never answer. Hello? Yeah, no man, listen. Right now, I'm in a bad mood.
Like this girl left on the internet there, this thing gone, this thing gone, crazy, not 2 months back, baby.
Boy, ya te cabres de
No, I'm not a reporter. They were hoping that somebody see and somebody could just at least come in and speed up the process because the child is still in the house.
You see, that's why broadcasts like these are so important. She's just out there as a right thinking neighbor, a caring neighbor. She's broadcasting so that persons will pick up the broadcast and put it up on platforms like this, platforms with a large reach, with an international following, so that persons can now speed up what's going on the ground for persons that are really affected by this, right? The child is still in there, waiting. Persons are still there, waiting for answers to what really take place. Still waiting for certain persons from law enforcement and stuff like that to show up. And guess what? Over here on Delta 9 Media, we're going to make sure that we bring you all the updates. All the updates as it relates to what's going on with this. We can keep you updated with this. You best believe as the updates develop, we're going to make sure that we bring them either in a pre-recorded video or we can come live, whether it's an early morning live like this or our usual flight times during the day or in the evening hours. You understand me? Because just recently, as recent as last night, members of Team Green, the APNU, PNC, and other right-thinking Guyanese were out standing in solidarity because of what recently went down in our country. We're going to update ourselves with these details from the scene in the candlelight. Yeah, they had a candlelight Otis. Yeah, candlelight Otis. Let's go and see. Was taking place right here, a candlelight meetup. You know the words, we're trying to skate around so that the algorithm will keep the video moving. We're skating around certain terms. So we're going to call it a candlelight gathering.
Ground, boots on the 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 ground. What we want? Justice. 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 Who we want it for? Who we want it for? Who? Jakim. For who? Jakim. What we want? Justice. 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 Where we want it? No. 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 What we want? Justice. What we want?
All over social media. We're here tonight. Two purposes, the way I see it. One, to call for justice to Jakim Scipio, who was shot by the police for just riding while black. Riding while black. A young man with no criminal record. A hard-working young man whose only crime was to buy a motorcycle and to ride the roads in Georgetown. Bought a motorcycle about 4 to 5 months ago, was tased by the police, was locked up by the police for 72 hours, and was lastly shot by the police for all 3 occasions, innocently. Nothing against this young man. But in addition to that, we sing the song, How Many More? Well, it must be no more. That's the second person we out here.
Listen, law enforcement persons in authority. All of these Guyanese, buddy. Look what's going on with the youths between the ages of 5 and 20. Check the headlines. Look at what's going on with the youths. And then we crying out and wondering how come there's problems with the labor force. Look at what's going on with the youths. Just in this live alone, look at what's going on.
Here to protest, as a candlelight vigil, to say there must be no more shooting, no more police brutality against young people in this country, and especially young black people.
I'm standing as a mother for all these children, for mothers. Look out for your children, them, the police, them, they come fair. This child is work hard. This child is not a criminal. The police, them know the criminals, them. And I know he's not no criminal, just but I wasn't here. I would have got a dead child. Time like now I would have stand up, I would have done like it and Merrimon. This is unfair. This is unfair. I need justice. I need justice for my child. This is unfair. This is unfair. I need justice for my child. I got to get justice for my child. Because I wasn't here, I would have got a dead child. I try me dead for my child. I'm going to need them again. And when I see put the gun back to my child, I crack the gun again. I try myself for my child. I need justice for my child. I need justice. I need justice, Father. Only give me justice. Move this down here, black, and give me the justice. Father, let this life for me, remove it. Remove it and let get justice to my child. Father, look into it. Mercy, darkness, and I clear my life. I just like shine. Let us be shining for Chukim. And I stand up for my child. And mothers of today say, I stand up for your children. God, Chukim is a walking child. He walking at the company. I said, Chukim every day. Chukim is all, mommy. The face is fair good. 9-5 a day. My child got a thief. I got a big house there. If you got room, everything every day is provided for me. Child is food is cook every day. My child got to go. I go out on the road. When we want better to stop bike. If they want to kill only children them up to there, yeah, no bike must come back in this country. No bike. That is unfair. Unfair.
What is this current condition?
Right now, my child get from here straight on the belly. He kind of cut straight on the belly and the back. Right now, my child can't do no work no more. My child can't lift nothing no more. It's done with. Them destroy me child at the age of 19. The police them destroy me child at the age of 19. They done me child at the age of 19. Why the black children up there they can't get a bike, they can't ride, they can't get to them. They got to stop.
Didn't I just say it? I just say it. How you gonna asking about what's going on with the labor force? You hear what the mothers highlighting there? They crush the youth, a hard-working youth. So what you gonna do now, buddy? Kayan ain't got no benefits for disability that he can live off for 10,000 a day. Youth man don't work in a clock in. You hear we mothers highlighting right there? And then they're talking about mistaken identity. Why you think I put the brothers up on the screen and condolences to their loved ones, rising power to their everlasting energy, to our everlasting energy, right? A set of foolishness, buddy. A set of foolishness, and then they're talking about mistaken identity. Up to now, we still didn't get no real arrests for a number of these cases that are on the screen. And we still didn't get to the bottom of what's going on with this situation that this mother is highlighting right here. 19 years old, a working youth. Come, blam, blam. Left him now in a position where he can't help himself. And who's going to take care of his mother? who's going to take care of his loved ones, and his responsibilities now become somebody else's responsibilities in hard Guyana, where the cost of living is crazy and persons already are struggling to find it, and glad that they could get a person that is willing and able body to give them a brace, taking away the person that is there to give her a brace to help her out. How much more times we gonna keep putting these people in these positions of power? Look at what the repercussions are. There's not one ethnicity alone dealing with it. I'm showing you clear as day on this live. You're hearing and seeing it from persons that are on the ground. Something got to be fixed because it's obviously that something is wrong. This can't be normal. This cannot be normal. Y'all can't fool me. I am old enough to know that there is something that needs to be rectified with law enforcement and what's going on the ground. And if you feel like that might be the case or it might not be, feel free, call it in. The hotline number is on the screen. I'm going to put it up so persons can see it, or drop it in the comment section or send a voice note. Let's have some meaningful conversation about these very, very troubling headlines that we keep seeing. It's becoming a trend now.
Let the chairman up there, they're free. When the police them hold you, you carry you in the car, and just blow your brains out. Enough mothers to God never see what the chairman them is. Enough mothers looking for the chairman them. Cause the police up there, they just drink blood like vampires. They need blood like vampires.
Black people children.
Yes.
They're programmed to kill
yes.
black people children.
Kill them out.
Because they don't kill the other races.
Yes.
The other races
That's unfair.
I need justice. It's systemic racism against
I need justice. Father, I need justice. I let justice begin.
Systemic racism against Afro-Guyanese. Other races commit armed criminals to kill them. Black people that commit no criminals.
Why you out here? I'm out here in support of his family. An end must come. I want to say that. An end must come. You know, it is hard, and I want to make some strong statements tonight. I personally believe that what we are witnessing in Guyana with this police brutality and police targeting and profiling one set of people with this shooting, it is deliberate. Because if the government, everything takes political will. If the government stand against this type of behavior, it won't happen. It therefore means from the commissioner, just look at the reaction of the government with a temperament. Let's really get serious here. And with the lives of our young people. I'm in here since afternoon. And if you show the young men running by the time this band coming, you don't have to do anything when you see these police come through this given, They're not here to serve and protect, They're here to destroy and murder young people. How could this be right? An end must come. Too many times, we go to different families. Tonight we call it for justice. Last week was somebody in a lockup with allegations police beat them, died. Police shoot somebody here. If that mother was not here, what are you shooting this young man? When you go to do firearm training, you know what it said? A gun is to kill. It is clear. You're not killing nobody. Somebody commit a crime, you shoot them. I am saying that policeman who came here, tilted this young man who to murder him, should have not been in the job. He should have already been charged. Why did it take so long for file to go to the DPP? We just celebrate 60 years of independence. What does that mean? That a police, you go in the force now, you join the police, and you could kill people and do what you want, and it's some house arrest. The law is different for you. The law, how the law could be different? These are things we're talking about independence. We gotta change this slave-like mentality system. The police when they do this, they must face the law like anybody else. What makes a police policemen so special that they could kill and murder and be at home and be all over, but somehow stressing an investigation. If it was somebody else, it would be different. I said that an end must come to this, and I'm calling for the system. That system must change because if the police have to face the law, like all of us, that the action of these police would not have been. And I'm saying an end must come, and that's a good way to start from.
What we want?
Why this message?
What we want? Justice. What we want? Justice. What we want? Justice. What we want? Justice. What we want? What we want? Justice. What we want? Justice.
Why this message tonight?
Tonight we're out here protesting for two reasons. We're protesting for justice for Joaquin, a hard-working young black man who was shot by the police. And I just want to go back briefly. This is a young man who worked hard, saved his money, and bought a motorcycle about 4 to 5 months ago. Having bought a motorcycle, he was picked up by the police and locked up. This is within the last 4 to 5 months. Picked up by the police and locked up for 72 hours with an allegation that he committed a robbery. Only to the police he said no, he was mistaken identity. Then just about 2 Fridays ago, he was tased by the police. Tased by the police because they thought that his motorcycle was stolen, only to find out that he had legitimately purchased his motorcycle. And if that was not enough, a few days later, he was shot by the police for driving while black. This is not something that applies only to Joaquin. Hundreds and thousands of our young black men who are riding the road are stereotyped. The mere fact that they got a motorcycle and are riding down the road, it becomes automatic. They must prove to the police that they are not criminals. The assumption is that they are criminals. And this has to stop. We cannot have this police brutality continuing against our young black men. We don't want to make this a race issue, but we do not see this happening to young men of other ethnicities. And I wanna divert a little bit, because very often the brutality is being executed and carried out against a young black man by young black police officers. And this is the internalized racism that is being developed within the police force. This comes directly from the PPP government, where the message is sent, you take action against your own and we will cover you. So we have a case of internalized racism, where young black police officers feel it is okay to brutalize other young black men, and this has to stop. And I want to say a word. We're in the inner city here of Georgetown, and very often we see the president arrive in the inner city and people come out sometimes to flock him. I want to say to them, you need to stop that nonsense. No more when the president and his ministers come to the inner city that you run out to greet them and flock them. Because these are the same people who are condoning the police when they shoot your sons. These are the same people who are empowering the police to shoot your sons. And you should not be running out to embrace this government that is allowing this to happen to our young black men. Joaquin suffered terribly. He was shot in his yard. The gun was cranked to try to shoot him, to kill him, to finish him. But his mother was able to throw herself on his body. They dragged him like if he was an animal to put him into the van, where another police officer said that he was lucky, that he was the one who had shot him. He would have shot him to kill. What kind of country are we living in, where young black men are just being shot for being young and for being black, and especially riding a motorcycle? You know, the song was just playing How Many More? And the other reason we are outside here, other than asking for justice for Joaquin, is that there must be no more. This has to come to an end. The message has to be sent. Has to be sent to the police
Commissioner, to the Minister of Home Affairs, to the President of the country, and to all in government that black people will not be used to target practice in this country. We must not assume that every single young black man is a criminal. The assumption must not be that young black men are criminals and they must prove themselves to be innocent and hardworking. That has got to stop. And I've heard nothing over all of the shootings over the years. We had the recent death of Jordan Payne in police custody, a death to this day that I still attribute to the police. And we must not, I have heard nothing. We've had Jukim shooting, and nothing from the police saying, well, listen, we are reviewing the rules of engagement, about the use of lethal force and so on with our officers, so as to prevent something like this happening. And the reason that we have not heard anything from the police on this shooting and steps taken to prevent the recurrence is because they assign absolutely no value to the life of the young black man. And so these are the reasons that we are out here to ensure that we get justice for Jakeem, justice for his family. You know, a bullet was lodged near his spine, and he had that bullet removed, but movement, his leg is returning extremely slowly. And the government needs to commit at this point for his medical care so that he can resume a full and productive working life. We pray for his swift recovery. And this is his family also. They need justice. They have suffered a lot. And these things need to come to an end. We do not want to see any more shooting of young black men in this country. Thank you.
What we want? What we want? Justice! 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 Where we want it? No! Where we want it? No! Where we want it? No! Where we want it? What do you want to see come out? Where we want it? No! 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 What we want? Justice! What we want? Justice! What we want? Justice! What we want? Justice! I believe that as a young man, what we want? What we want? What we want?
Big up yourself to all the frequent travelers right now that are in the chat. Zibuya, thanks for tuning in. You guys in Guyana accept the rigged elections, and now you are complaining it's going to get worse. Only a revolution could change things in Guyana. I'm telling you. When I read the comment right there and I analyze it, there's a lot of persons that are probably looking at the situation in a similar way. But you want to tell something? Why it's always got to reach to that? Why are persons so greedy, so callous, right? So permissive to these kind of activities? This is not the first, second, third, fourth. They got a lot more persons that I could add to the screen, right? There's a lot more persons that could be added to the screen, and they're out there standing in solidarity for them, but very much so for the young man, 19 years old, that now they put out a bread. They put you on the bread line pretty much. Because you know how long this take? Spinal, an injury like that, where you had a bullet lodged in your spine and then you gotta come back to do construction. Anybody in the chat is do construction? We all think about the implications connected to something like this. You know, there's a lot more persons watch. You see? Rising power to them and condolences to their loved ones. There's a lot more persons we could put on the screen, right? Less than 1 million persons. One of the wealthiest nations in the world on paper, because half of people is heavy poverty. And me asking, I telling you directly was coming from international foundations that analyze these things.
Save and buy these little motorbikes to do what they have to do in terms of transportation. And it is unfair to be profiled wrong and to be assumed a criminal when you're not. And much more to be shot by the police officers to the extent that you will be named for life. So they cannot go on like this. We've got to be able to bring this an end to this kind of behavior by the police force. Mind you, they are good cops, and I praise good cops, but in this instance, the decision was wrong. The motive was wrong, and justice needs to be meted out in this case.
Where we want it now! 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 What we want? Justice! 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 Where we want it now! Where we want it now! Where we want it now! For who?
This force has been in existence for years, and the Guyana Police Force has spent millions and billions of dollars to build relationships between the communities. There has been a number of initiatives over the years to build that relationship. When we see actions like these, it clearly demonstrates that there are some elements within the Guyana Police Force who will affect and derail any attempt to bring the community together. Look, the police force is here.
Bantu King is asking, what about the perpetrator or perpetrators? Right? That's a good question. In both situations, that we would have covered on this live, and in the situations that are related to the pictures on your screen and the pictures we would have shared before. One love, Bantu King. Thanks for dropping insightful commentary into the comment section.
To protect and serve. That is an important mandate that has been bestowed on the police force by law. And we cannot accept in this time or in any time to come that police will not respect basic human rights, which is a right to life. There are rules, laws, and regulations in relation to when you may fire, when you may use your firearm. And you cannot attempt to effect an arrest by using a firearm. There is no provision in law which allows that. And therefore, the action of the police is without excuse, is without justification. And so it is surprising that we are living in a time in Guyana where all these days have passed, and the police commissioner and the people who are at the hierarchy of the force have not said anything where the Minister of Home Affairs has said nothing in relation to this incident. And so when you talk about a grieving mother who sees that her 19-year-old child lies in a bed with fears that he may never be able to walk and to run and to do his work. When you see that level of fears which has crippled the heart of a mother, you must worry with what we are faced with in this country. And I want to be very clear. The gathering here tonight has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It has absolutely nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with our basic human rights as citizens of this country. And we must stand up. Were this to happen in any other community, were this to happen to any other ethnic group, we would have been right there standing with them, because we believe that each and every citizen of this country, their life matters. And so we must not see incidents like this and turn a blind eye. That is why we are here. That is why we are here as a party to give support. This is the families who have called for this candlelight vigil. And that is why we must stand with them, because this is what we are talking about. This candlelight vigil was publicized all over social media. I was hoping that we will have the support of the People's Progressive Party. I was hoping that we will have the support of the minister. I was hoping that we will have the support of certain key members to demonstrate that this has nothing to do with politics. This has everything to do with basic human rights and the preservation and respect for human rights and the right to life. And we cannot allow this to happen. We cannot allow this to continue. We cannot allow this without standing up and giving our voice to it. And that is why we're here. That is why we're here.
Everyone. No. Everyone. No. Everyone. No. Everyone. No. No. What we want. Justice. 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 For who? 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 Justice. Louder. Justice. For who? 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 Justice. What we want? 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 Justice. Where we want it? No. 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 For who? For who? For who? Where we want it? No. 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 What we want? 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 Put on there. Put on there. Put on there. Put on there. Put on there.
Jello.
Put on there. Put on there.
If they can stop. Good night, everyone. I know the families will thank you, but there are a few important things I want to say. And I always get licks for this, okay? Because I always tell people this is not a political speech. And I have some of my comrades, especially my seniors, who say, listen, you're a young politician now, stop saying that. But listen, I want to be honest with you all, right? I may want to talk to you as a politician. I want to talk to you as a Guyanese. One thing I want to say, stop being afraid of the police. You, each and every one of you, all represent various homes. You have rights. And your rights, you have to know your rights and enforce your rights. You must not be fearful of the police. The police, they are employees of the state that you pay. Your tax-paying money pays the police. And I want you to think of this like this, in this way. If you have a company and you have to pay the employees, would you pay the employees to disrespect you?
No. No.
Would you pay the employees to abuse you?
No.
Would you pay the employees to shoot you down and kill you?
No.
No. And I want you to think and listen. If we, as small as we are, this can get bigger. If we take back the powers in our hands, the police force or a government that is callous and operates as though that they don't care, let me tell you something. We will get the type of respect that we deserve. One of the ways, let me tell you something. It is very easy for the PPP to operate the way they are operating. Why? You see, I am sure they are right now at various places and they're relaxing and throwing back and drinking their champagne and having a ball. Why? Because they know that one of the most fundamental things is wrong with us. And that is we don't have no unity. They know that while some of us are going to stand up for justice, some of the people who are benefiting will never see the bigger picture, which is to ensure that every life, every youth, every person in this country is respected under the law. And if they can only understand, you see, and mother, I speak to you, and the father, let me tell you, trouble knocked at your door. So that day was for you. And those who might be thinking, well, it has nothing to do with me. Trouble is coming at their door. If we don't stand up as a people and stop this nonsense. Do not be afraid. A lot of people don't come out when they hear anything to do with protests, when they hear anything to do with march, when they hear anything to do with vigil, because fear has crippled them. And let me tell you something. We got Mama Brooms here. It's a lot more in the Bible than me. But let me tell you something. One of the things I know is that fear cripples. When you're fearful of things, the thing you fear the most, what is that? What? Just come upon you, man. And you must not be afraid. Those of you who have young people in your homes, stop letting them be afraid. This community must stop being afraid of the police. I will never say to you to operate or act in an unlawful way. I am not saying to disrespect the police. I am not saying to prevent the police from doing their work. Let the police do their work. But while the police do their work, every time you see that the police is not doing their job in a lawful and ethical and professional way, call them out and tell them without any fear that we will not accept that, we will not support that, and you will only get our support when you do the right thing. And I want to tell, we have a lot of young people tonight. Let me tell y'all something. Be focused. Be focused. You're shot by the police. Let me tell you something. We had Quinton Bacchus on the East Coast, shot by the police. Don't matter. Some people might say he get compensation. 20 something million dollars can't compensate for your life. Can't compensate for your life. And I stand publicly and say our courts in Guyana offers the smallest amount or reward for death in the whole of the Commonwealth Caribbean. The smallest in Guyana. It is a pattern. It is a pattern because to them, you're dead, that is it. Move on. Everybody moves on. Everybody moves on. And no one stands up and say enough is enough. No one has the energy and the enthusiasm and the focus to say, I will fight this thing until it changes. We must not be afraid to fight. Let me tell you something about a struggle. When you are in the struggle for justice, you might not get what you're looking for in a week. You might not get what you're looking for in a month. But if you keep the momentum, if you keep the focus, if they see that this community has come together. What is the name of this community again? This is Plum Park. I want to say and challenge Plum Park. Plum Park, this community can come together and this community can change this entire country when it comes to the treatment of people by the police. You know, let me tell you something. Just how you are observers of what happens in this country, I observe what's happening in this country as well. And you know one of the things, you know why none of the people in government will give any sweat to what's going on here tonight? Because they can say here, that is short-lived. That is short-lived. They come out tonight, all right, let them make nice. And you just look at the mentality. You just got to run back to Facebook and you will see what your own citizens in this country saying. People are calling, imagine people are calling you out here, us out here, insane, Dr. Campbell. Imagine a mother standing up, parents standing up for justice of a child. And that is just to tell you where we are in this country. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
They're blind to justice.
A lot of work to do. This is not. Listen. I thank you, but this is not about that. You know what this is about? This ain't got nothing to do with people who are in leadership position. This has everything to do with the people who decide in their mind, I am not stopping, and if it's me alone, I'm going through the struggle until I see justice, until there's change. You can't, and I encourage you, do not, you might not always be here as MP and as leaders of the party, but you can mobilize yourselves and you can keep this thing going.
Yes.
Until you see justice, man. Justice. Do not give up.
That's right.
Do not give up.
Don't give up.
Because when you fight mother and father, you are not only fighting for your child. You are saying that no, mother, I've listened to you intently. And you have a heart not only for your child, you have a heart for, as a mother for all the youths in this country.
Serious times on the ground right now as we head into the weekend. Rasta Empress is saying good morning, everyone. So busy today. Yeah, a whole lot going on on the ground right now. Right? And we still didn't get into what's going to be discussed in Parliament as yet. And we all know just how many waves are going to roar as that conversation begins in the deliberation of those bills, right? You see, when a doctor takes time out from his busy schedule to make sure that he gives certain learned analysis to things that's going on, it is worth analyzing it in segments so you could really grasp every bit of insight that is being shared, right? Right now, we're going to get some of those insights coming straight from the Honorable Dr. Hines. Let's hear.
Why an open field for former presidents and not an open field for the workers, the toilers? Why are you putting a cap? 8% for teachers, 9% for public servants, but you're not putting a cap on the benefits for former presidents. Are you saying that former presidents are superior to the others? Yes, that's what you're saying. I have no problem with former presidents living comfortably. They serve our country and they're entitled to benefits. But our people, our workers, also serve this country and are entitled to benefits. You give pensioners, old age, old people, $5,000 raise. It's now at $46,000, $200 US. And you cap it. It's for 46. You cap it. And you arrive at that maybe through some formula. Well, why not use the same formula to determine the benefits of former presidents? So you put a cap on old age pension. You put a cap on minimum wage. You put a cap on the wages of workers.
Yeah.
But you're not putting a cap on the benefits for former presidents.
That's the thing.
This is not about the person of the former presidents. Have a good.
I agree with most of what the Honorable Doctor is saying right there. How come a cap are on those things, but we're spending this, the first sitting in Parliament, in about almost 100 days now? I could stand corrected. And we're getting into conversations about adjustments to what's going on with past presidents. 5 persons. Does putting people first? They can't be putting people first. 5 versus how much? And how much time is going to be wasted on that when there's so many other things that could have came to the floor? Hopefully these things help to open our eyes to what's really going on in our country.
Good relationship with Donald Ramatar. Whenever I see Sam Hines, as I did a couple of weeks ago, we talk. I like Sam, actually. David Granger, I voted for him. Barra Jack Dio, I don't like him politically, but I have no problem with him as a human being. And so this is not about them as individuals. This is about how you govern. I want my former presidents to live comfortably and to get some perks that are consistent with their office. But I also want all people who gave their all to this country to live comfortably. You cannot have one standard for those at the top and the same standard for those at the and another standard for those at the bottom.
Maintaining the class system, the fulcrum of politics. Maintaining the class structural establishment. Rich stay rich, the poor stay poor. Those who have continue to be the haves, and the have-nots help to generate more have-nots. If they don't make big changes to what's going on around them, as we could clearly see. Big up to all the travelers right now in the chat. Big up to all the travelers that's going to catch this in the rewind in the future. Now, usual time. But that story that we started off the live with needed to be highlighted, because there's a lot in that persons might try to brush under the rug, if you know what I mean.
Had I taken the approach that, oh, I'm not a member of parliament, I'm going somewhere else, then I would not have been here. For me, principle matters. We are in a fight against a political party that discriminates against us politically and ethnically. We're in a fight against a political party that does not believe resources should be allocated to people outside of their framework. We are in a political fight with a group that believe in control and domination. And in such a fight, you have to be steadfast and committed to principles. We are in a fight with people who are prepared to bribe every politician. I can tell you I have had offers from as far back as 1998. But I have always said no to it. And that is why I could say it anytime. I cannot be accused of being involved. Well, I can be accused, but I have never been involved in.
So, since the 90s, the man trying with Narkin, allegedly. Here with the Honorable Mr. Narkin just highlighted right there. Since the 90s. The man say and take something. Integrity in check. That might be the reason why. That might be one of the main reasons why we're seeing some of the realities that we see today.
Accepting bribes, corruption, and a lot of the um, things that are occurring. And whenever I engage the president or whoever I engage specifically to serve our constituency and to ensure that they get benefit without me compromising myself. And so I want to respond to the thing that I heard occurred in your last program, that I was paid by ExxonMobil. I want to make it very clear. One, I never applied for anything ExxonMobil.
Well, Mr. Norton, sorry, let me interrupt you there. I don't want you to just refer to that as a specific, but you can refer to that, respond to that as a specific. But I want you to address the general utterances out there that you have been compromised in some way or other. Where there's a contract from Exxon, where there's something you took from the government.
That is what I am addressing.
But this general attitude.
This is what I'm addressing. I'm saying I have never been compromised by anyone. I never asked anyone for anything. And I can say without fear of successful contradiction, I know that there's a campaign to suggest that. And that is why I sued Esther Primus, because I felt they were getting out of hand, and let them come and defend it in a court. Because what they have been doing is making these malicious things, and then people believe it and they run around. I mean, I can tell you a whole plethora of them I would have had to address. I've heard all this nonsense, but I get in drunk and I drink on Orange Walk. Anybody who knows me knows since the 1990s, I do not drink before 6 o'clock. So it's a lot.
So get it straight. Get it straight. You heard it right there from the Honorable Leader of the PNC, APNU.
Lot of garbage. But we live in an era of social media where they put out something there and people hold on at it as if it is gospel. And your only option is to take them to court, which is unfortunate because I prefer not to go to court. But I can say to you, no one can point their finger in my face and say, factually, I have been compromised by any company or by a political party. In fact, there were people who approached me to assist in the last elections, but conditions some of them wanted, I made very clear. I'm not prepared to do it because what happened with the AP and UAFC when they came to power in 2015 is there were a lot of those approaches. And then when you get government, the same people continue to benefit more than your support base. And that was a problem in itself. So I'm saying in a direct way, and I challenge anyone in Guyana and out of Guyana to say that factually that I have been compromised.
No matter where in the world, we love Guyana. What are your colors? How do you represent? I love Guyana. Order yours today. We ship worldwide. Delta 9 Media.
One love, one people, the mission complete. One love, one flag, one nation, right? Under the stars, divine presence in the sky. Unity, no one, let the children thrive. Power to the people, we keep hope alive.
Support independent media. Support Delta 9 Media. What are your colors? Get yours at delta9media.com, right?
I mean, I was mad when I saw Odessa Primus going on with her ignorance about I being in Jack Deo's payroll. I have not engaged Jack Deo for years. I've never had a personal discussion with him. When he was president, I was involved in discussions. And as opposition leader, I was involved in discussion on national issues, but never at the personal level. And I can say that without fear of contradiction.
Thank you again for your response. I see somebody saying, allow Mr. Norm to address the specific Exxon issue and so on and so forth. One of the things I want to make clear is
Have never engaged ExxonMobil except as leader of the opposition and outlining our policy positions. But you know, you can't stop people. Kaito News carried a headline. Norton now in opposition recognize that there should be ring fencing, which was malicious, ridiculous. I then showed them, sent to them an article in which they wrote that I was involved in saying that the time for ring fencing had come, etc., and a number of other things. I had to put in the public domain their own thing. They refused to withdraw it, even though by their own writings it was malicious, ridiculous, and out of place. And so that is the kind of thing that generates the kind of problems we face. I have, as leader of the opposition and as leader of the PNC and the APNU, taken principled position on ExxonMobil. I've always said more should go to the Guyanese people. Guyana should benefit more. And I made it very clear that had we gotten government, we'd have engaged ExxonMobil to get more resources for the people of Guyana. Of course, Exxon might not like it. Exxon has to protect its interests. It is my task to protect the interests of the people I represent, and I will always do that.
Clarity, right? We heard it straight from the former leader of the opposition, the Honorable Mr. Norton. What are your views, Delta 9 travelers? Drop it into the comment section. Send me your voice notes at this point because guess what? It's about that time, right? Always so many headlines for us to update one another with. Make sure that you are subscribed to Delta 9 Media so that you can stay updated with everything that is trending in Guyana and in the diaspora. I want to say big up to all the frequent travelers that are in the chat. Big up to all the moderators, right? Big up to everyone who came through and made this live presentation what it is. And if you're going to catch this in the rewind in the future, big up yourself. Thanks for spending some time on Delta 9 Media with us, right? And if you're subscribed already, it don't cost you nothing, buddy. Subscribe and join the team if you're looking for an independent way that you can support this platform of creatives, independent media, right? So that media can stay independent, neutral, and don't have to answer to no third party sponsors that might sell us in. this or that because of certain sponsorships. You want to make sure that Delta 9 Media is always independent. Then guess what? Support the platform. Become a channel member. That's the barcode right there on the screen. One love. And I'll catch you in the next one.